Hello and welcome to a new episode on the Liberation Lounge podcast. And if you're watching on YouTube, hello, you can see Callie, my beautiful dog behind us. She's joining us for the episode. So today we're going to be exploring how to feel worthy of wealth inside of your body and how this can help you confidently charge for your services from a place of alignment and joy and expansion. And I'm so excited about this podcast episode. I just shared a powerful somatic liberation practice which goes hand in hand with this episode inside of the Body Talk membership. So that's a place where you get to take the information that I share or the information that you already know that you want to integrate, and you get to practically integrate that in your body. So if you really enjoy this podcast episode and you are not yet part of the Body Talk membership, that is a beautiful next step for you to actually integrate what you're going to experience in this podcast and then bring it into your body to make it real. So, to begin with, wealth lives in the body. And I want to tell you a story that completely, continuously blows my mind. Happened last year, and I had a crazy backache. And it was at the time that I was already pretty much involved in the embodiment world and getting to know what my body was communicating to me. And so I opened up Louise Hay, the book, and at the back of the book she has an index of all the different body symptoms that you're having and all what it means, what belief system it's basically manifesting, what thought beliefs are manifesting in your body into this symptom. So I naturally opened it up, went to lower back and said, oh, lower back is fear around money and finances and supporting. And I was doing okay in my business. I was like, I didn't feel consciously that I had an issue with money mindset. Like I felt like, okay, I've done that. I've been past that. Like I'm in abundance mindset. I'm in this mode of calling it in. I was in an amazing momentum. But the backache made me go a little bit deeper. And what I'm going to share with you might just change your perspective and hopefully change the way that you look at scarcity. So when I opened up the book and I saw, okay, so my backache means that I'm having issues with finances or my belief systems around money and scarcity and control. I felt a little bit attacked. I'm like, no, that's not true. That's not accurate. Like, I'm in this abundance mindset. I'm taking a lot of action. I invest in myself. I'm good. But the truth is, and this is what, after I did this practice and what I'm going to share with you, I realized that I wasn't allowing myself to feel the scarcity. Because it's toxic, right? Everyone's like, okay, be abundant, focus on all the things you can do, put your mindset here, be a positive mindset. It's not good to feel scarcity or victim. And I, for the longest time, disattached myself from the victim or from the scarcity mentality. And it built up. My body was saying, look at me, I exist. I'm not something to be ignored. I'm not a force to something to just put behind you. What the back actually represents are emotions or beliefs that you can't see or touch, like you put behind you, like they're in the back. Like your back, you can't really touch it or you can't see it. So the types of emotions or blocks or repressed feelings often get stored in the back because it's just, I'll put it on the back burner. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to see it. And it just becomes this unresolved tension. And when tension in the body builds up, it can turn into discomfort or symptoms or pain or aches or whatever it was. So this backache was the accumulation of me being in this positive mindset of abundance, and I'm going to call it in. I'm just going to focus on what I need to do. And when I realized this, and I did this powerful somatic liberation practice, which I shared in the Body Talk membership, that you can actually create space for the victim, you can create space for the scarcity, and there's a purpose to it. And instead of ignoring it and saying, oh, that's not a good emotion, that's not a good thing, it's not good to feel scarce, it's not good to feel lacking, it's not good to feel like I need something or there's not enough of something. So for the longest time, I had this mindset that it wasn't good, so I ignored it and I put it on the back burner. So even though money wasn't the practical issue, my body was saying, you gotta dig a bit deeper because there's a higher level for you. And once I tapped into that, within a couple of weeks, my business made accurately I don't remember the exact number, but like 19,000 something. So roughly around $20,000 from this shift that I was able to access from my body. So this isn't a practice for you if you're feeling like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not this enough. It's a practice for you to listen to, can I create space for this victim? Can I create space for this discomfort? Can I create space for what I'm judging? Can I make this not wrong? Can I make this thought or desire or need not bad? In what way am I judging the victim mentality? And I want to give you a little bit of an example of how this works, or at least I hope this will help explain. So somatic liberation practices, in the way that I guide my clients and I guide myself, is a spectrum. So you have a spectrum, and on each side of the spectrum you have the intensity of something that you're running from or scared of or feels hard or uncomfortable or a lower type of emotion. And on the other side of the spectrum, you have the thing that you're calling in, that you want, that you desire. So most practices and healing and coaches are going to say, okay, let's just keep our eyes on the prize. Let's not look behind. And let's just aim for this desire. But in order to experience this desire, let's say it's wealth. Wealth lives in the body. So we want to expand our capacity to feel wealth. But if we're pushing down and repressing this victim inside of us and making it wrong or bad, we're also repressing our capacity to hold that wealth, which is fascinating. Fascinating. Somatic liberation, people say, oh, you have to feel to heal, but most people only want to feel the good stuff. If you can open yourself to feel the range of emotions of what it means to be alive, then that means you're creating some space for that scarcity. You're creating some space for that grief. You're creating some space for that inner critic. You're letting them talk so that they don't have to manifest into your body, or they don't have to manifest into interrupting things in your life that you desire. So I love the example of overwhelm and abundance. Overwhelm is a lot of something. So much going on, I feel so overwhelmed. Abundance is a lot of something that you desire. So technically, in the world of somatic liberation, in the world of the work that I do, it is the same thing in your body. It's like going to the gym and practicing and building a muscle. But it's, if you're not building the muscle of, I can expand my capacity to experience overwhelm, which means in a controlled setting, I'm taking my body through an experience to liberate and express this overwhelm, give it a voice, give it a character, give it a liberation. If that's repressed, then the abundance is saying, well, it doesn't, so much of something doesn't feel safe, and it's feeling overwhelmed, and it's going to interrupt each other. Same thing as fear and excitement. When you're really excited about something, even physiologically in your body, those two experiences are so similar in your body. Fear and excitement. And if you can expand your capacity to feel fear, you can expand your capacity to take courage and to do things that are exciting. Another example is doubt and trust. Doubt is not knowing. Trust is not knowing, right? How mind-blowing is this? When like these pieces were coming together through the somatic liberation practices that I did, it was so liberating to know that, wow, if I can expand my capacity to hold self-doubt, to to hold my inner critic, to listen to it, to give it a voice, to let it express. There's a purpose to it. It's not there for no reason. It's not there to be dismissed. When doubt is unexpressed or unprocessed in the body, it turns into not taking action, procrastinating, distraction, second-guessing yourself. But when doubt is processed, it turns into trust. It turns into being able to channel that doubt to take action. And when you take action with the doubt, then you experience, I trust myself. But you can only do that with the capacity to hold the doubt in your body. There was such a powerful example I shared in my 3-day free course. I'm going to leave the link here on the description of this podcast so that you can join that. That free 3-day course is called Embodied Wealth, and it was fascinating. It was mind-blowing. There were women that got their first clients in there. There were women that realized why her hair had been thinning after a year in entrepreneurship and committing to the change of listening to her body and actually being in tune with the messages rather than just doing. There was insane shifts that happened from this free 3-day course. Anyways, the 3rd day, we did a practice of expanding your body's capacity to hold wealth, to hold more income, hold more money. And the practice we did was expanding your capacity to hold rejection. Successful people aren't people that hear yeses their whole life. Successful people have the resiliency of no's. If you ask a successful person how they got to where they are, they're going to give you they could give you a whole book filled with every single rejection they held. But the person that waits in the waiting zone and is scared and trapped by rejection only has a couple of rejections on their list. But the person that has liberated rejection has courage, has resiliency, has success. So what I'm giving you the image of in this podcast episode is to notice where you are judging the inner critic, judging the scarcity, judging the lack. Because there is a purpose to that. And when you can acknowledge it, that's an amazing first step. The second step, if you're part of the Body Talk membership, is to liberate it. Amazing. So let's have an exploration of what could possibly be the purpose behind scarcity. I'm going to drop some examples, but when you do the practice yourself, your body has your answer. In the way that I coach, in the way that I mentor my clients, it's never about this is the way, this is what your body's saying. It's always a guide of how you get to tune into your own inner wisdom, how you get to be so empowered from within. So these are a few invitations of what it might possibly be. But when you do the practice, when you get in tune with your body and connect to what your inner victim has to say, there's going to be incredible magic there. So when we look at the word scarce, for example, things that are scarce actually have more value, like gold or diamonds or a certain type of knowledge. So things that are scarce, you can actually set a higher price for. There's more value in something that's scarce. So it might be that your body wants to communicate this scarcity, wants to communicate set boundaries, or your time is valuable, so you have to go and do this. You can channel enthusiasm and boundaries, energy, momentum. Your scarcity gets to be your fuel. You get to channel this voice that's saying, this is really urgent. Like, there isn't enough time to sit around and wallow in what ifs. There's not enough time for that. We don't have time. There's not enough time. Or there's not enough women doing the work that you do, and it needs to be you that gets up and shares this message. It's not said enough. This message is important. It needs to be heard. It needs to be shared. So I'm not saying that we need to pedestal scarcity. I'm saying that when you take the spectrum of emotions, you take the spectrum of anything that you're experiencing, whether you desire it or whether you're trying to make it stop, and you look at it as one, you're a whole human being where everything is connected. For example, like I woke up with a neck ache today, and I was doing different yoga practices to release that tension. Because, yeah, you have to take care of your body physically, somatically, also go to the core. And so one of the practices, one of the yoga things said, like, neck pain can come from something that happened in your knee, or it can come from the types of shoes that you're wearing, or it can come from emotions or thoughts or anything. The whole body is connected, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So when you are experiencing something, if you want to expand your capacity to experience more wealth and train your body, like literally going to the gym and taking a muscle and training your body to experience that, wow, I'm worthy, like I deserve this, I like this is who I am, this is what I came to this world for. When you can tune into this energy of like, damn right, like I wake up and I have new clients every day, that's my reality, I sell out my retreats with ease, like I deserve that, I'm worthy to be seen, I'm worthy to take up space, I'm worthy to have such raging testimonials. This is like a natural byproduct of the person who I am, the person who I embody. So that's a little bit of an invitation into experiencing wealth in your body. And when you expand your muscles to feel scarcity and like, okay, let's listen to the message that this one's to have to share, you channel that. That's where you can build the confidence of charging for what you're worth, charging for your services with this self-assurance of like, this is what it is. This is the like confidence pricing. It's all got to do with how worthy you feel on the inside. And then it becomes a natural byproduct. People think, oh, how can she charge this much, or how does she have confidence in just charging? It's a muscle that literally starts with first getting to the core and expanding your capacity to feel the thing that's blocking you. So now you've got this clean slate of the thing that you desire, and you can stretch and train that thing that you desire, and you can call in more of what you want, which will impact the way your confidence when you charge, will impact your vibration of people connecting to you and wanting to work with you, will impact your capacity to hold more and expand and to skyrocket a quantum leap in the world of energetics. But there is so much power to your body and what it's communicating to you right now, and the message it has to share, and the victim, the voice, the character that's being repressed and pushed back and saying, I shouldn't be thinking like this, like that's not okay, that's not right, I should be abundant and thinking positive. But that will only get you so far. Like, so we have, like, if you're watching on the YouTube, then you can see my hands. So let's say you just want to think positive. So you still have to like try really hard to expand your muscles of receiving wealth. But if you can open up that muscle and feel even more channeled and liberated this scarcity or this inner victim, then you can expand your capacity to hold so much more wealth. And then that grows and that grows, and you can hold the spectrum rather than just trying to only hold one of them, because you can't hold one without the other. So my invitation to you is to remind yourself that what you're feeling, what you're experiencing is human. And it's not something we want to push down or push back or push behind us. It's something that we want to liberate and listen. There's a powerful message in your backache. There's a powerful message in emotions or symptoms that you're having. There's no such thing as a bad or good symptom. There's no such thing as a bad or good emotion. And what I say to my clients always is, it means you're in tune. If you're getting physical symptoms, or if you have these consistent patterns, or if your emotions are very heightened or extreme or intense, it means your body is very in tune. It's got a powerful message to say, and it means you're connected. And it's just a matter of leaning in and listening to those messages. So I'm so excited for you to channel this inner wealth, to channel this code of, I deserve this. This is inherently who I am. Because that's how we're born. This process that we do, somatic liberation, is literally just a process of remembering. Because when you're born inherently worthy of your parents' attention. You're born inherently worthy of everything that you desire, of food, of shelter, of love. You don't question like, oh, do I really deserve it? Did I do something to get their love, or do I need to do I need to think of the past and all the mistakes I did and that will change my present? No, you cry, you get picked up in a healthy childhood. You're inherently knowing of, I deserve this. It's not even a thought, because you don't process of until a certain age, reward and punishment, really. But my invitation to you, like I said, is to embody the most wildly worthy version of yourself without pushing down the scarcity or the things that are lower level emotions. And you are going to really expand this muscle and call in so much wealth. This week is about to be so transformational. It's not like 10 years away or 10 months away. It's right here, right now. What are you going to do with this? How are you going to integrate this? What actions are you going to take from this podcast to really integrate into your life and to make this impact, to make this difference, to actually feel worthy is your responsibility. And it's inherently something that you know how to do. Your body knew that when you were born. So it's not something that you have to learn. It's something that you can embody and remember. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to DM me on Instagram, or you can join our Liberated Lounge Facebook group, which we have this incredible community of women sharing, and we have all our free embodiment workshops hosted there, so that's a great place as well. I'm sending you so much love, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.